How's it going, guys? My name is Davi and welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we're gonna do a bit of a service on this bucky. We are doing a lot of work to make it look a lot better, but we also need to do some work to make sure it keeps on going and also that it's safe. So I'll be replacing the shocks, doing some servicing. I've already done the spark plugs and the bucky runs quite well, but it's time for an oil change, brake fluid, that type of stuff. So let's jump into it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to install a new water temperature switch, because when I did the head gasket I broke it off. So first thing we'll do is just put some plumber's tape on there, just to make sure that it seals, and it goes just here. Nice tight fit. Okay, next thing we need to reconnect the water pipes. Okay, maybe the first thing that I'm gonna do before I connect this pipe is flush the water system. That I'm just gonna do by running those pipes through the radiator. Okay, now that we've got nice and clean water running through there, we can connect up the bottom radiator hose and then do this exercise again, but the water will now come out on this side. Okay, clamps back on. Okay, now we can run those through here. Unfortunately, this thing is quite difficult to bleed, so the only way that I found that's quite effective is running a hose through here until the water comes out of this little pipe here, and then we know all the air that is trapped in the system is out. Remember to switch on your heater, that will open up the heater core so that any air that's trapped in there will also get bled out. Okay, sweet. Now that we forced water through the whole passage, we can tighten the clamps that we need to. But I am gonna remove a bit of this water so I can add coolant or antifreeze to it. The most important part now is to make sure that the water stays behind the thermostat here, because if there's an air bubble right before your thermostat, it's not gonna open, and then you might overheat, and that's never fun. Don't ask me how I know. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just drain the top bit of water in this radiator out, so we can add some coolant. I've got a very highly concentrated coolant that I will be adding in here, so it will mix nicely with the water, and we'll then have the correct mix. Oh, come on. Okay, who's back? Then we can start adding our coolant. Of course, I'll spill it all over the place. Now be careful with this stuff, guys. You don't want to dump it on the ground and just leave it there. It is poisonous, so just be careful with pets. It has a sweet smell and taste, so it might attract them. Just know that the stuff is poisonous and it will kill your animals, so please be careful. Cool. I will add some more as the engine runs. I'm just going to start the vehicle quickly and let the stuff run through the system. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is replace all these old belts. Now unfortunately this bakkie has 3 belts, and at the parts store they could only find the numbers for 2 of them. Hopefully it's the 2 most important ones, but we'll have to see. So what you do here is you just give this or bolt some slack. Obviously this thing hasn't moved in quite a while, so I'll need to help it a bit. Sure. You can see this belt is done. Look at all the cracking compared to the new one. This thing is finished. Nice. Okay, so it fits. Now to get off this other belt. Sure. 468. Like you can see, this one as well. It's done. Also cracked. So, which one is this? The 468. Nice. Now, this belt. I'm just gonna do this the lazy man's way. Why? Because I can. I'm not in the mood to stand there with a ratchet for the next 14 days. So, also just be careful with this electric tools. Don't tension this thing to death. Okay, that's a good tension. And now we can tighten that pulley bolt. Then we are done with the belts. Okay, so let's move on to something very simple, especially if you've got the same type of shock that we've got on this bucky. And let's replace these shocks. You've basically got a bolt here at top. Let me again use my lazy man tools. You know, work smarter, not harder. Okay, so let's just take note of the order: bolt, spring washer, washer. Okay, at the bottom it's got these protective plates over it. So let's just bend them out of the way. Okay, so this protective plate, we just bend it out of the way. And again, we've got the nut, spring washer, this thing, and that washer. And now it should be as simple as pulling it out. But of course, this is bolts and bolts, so nothing ever works easy. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so this thing's got split bushes in it. It's interessant. Oh, these shocks are shot. Okay, so always compare the old with the new. This is the same thing. So, yeah, check this one. And it pushes out. Nice. Okay, so we can take off the old bush. And then let's get some silicone spray on here just to make it slide in a bit easier. And there we go. So, washer, spring washer, and bolt. And on this side, washer, spring washer, protector, and bolt. Easy as that. There we go. And let's just put that protector plate back quickly. I'm just gonna use a hammer. And there you go, one shock installed. Okay, let's quickly put the air cleaner pipe back. I have checked the air filter. It's basically still brand new, so I'm not going to replace that. I'm going to get that boot in. That's seated. get a 10 more and just tighten that nicely. Okay, on this side, just tighten the clamp. Probably an 8. Okay, nice and tight. And let's give it a start so we can check that the belts and everything are still okay there. Strange. I wonder if this thing is not out of fuel, to be honest. Let me get some fuel in here, let's see. Okay, and as suspected, it was out of fuel. So I've just added some fuel. Now it's running nicely. Belts look perfect. Everything's lacquered. So now let's quickly replace the front shocks. And we should be able to loosen it. Okay, so again, washer rubber washer. Okay. And now we'll let it run for 10 minutes. Shell Helix HX5 1540. This engine actually asks for 1530 or 530, but this thing's got some mileage on it, so